Niggas be broken, be starving, but still talking shit like they ballin'.
The Ballon d'Or is the most prestigious award an individual player can win. Throughout the 2010s, Messi and Ronaldo were so dominant that they won this award every year of this decade except 2018, when Luka Modric won this award. But this wasn't the case in the 2000s. It seemed as though the award had a hot potato engraved on it, as no player won the award twice during this decade. 10 years, 10 different winners. This was also the decade full of controversial Ballon d'Or winners. In retrospect, about 7 of the Ballon d'Or winners during this time period have been challenged by majority of the football fans now. So, here are the best, worst, and the most controversial Ballon d'Or winners of the 2000s. Ronaldinho 2005. This is one of the most undeserving Ballon d'Ors in football history. He had just 13 goals and 10 assists throughout the course of the season, which is not even comparable to Henry's 30 goals and 15 assists and Lampard's 19 goals and 21 assists. Although Barcelona won the league, Ronaldinho didn't really separate himself as the best player on his own team, as Eto'o scored 29 goals and provided 7 assists and won the Pichichi Award. He also wasn't that great in the UCL, where he scored only 4 goals and provided 1 assist, while his team got bounced out in the round of 16 against Lampard's team. The main reason he won the Ballon d'Or was because he led Brazil to a Confederations Cup trophy. He scored 3 goals and provided an assist while receiving the Man of the Match award in the finals. This was unfair to Lampard and Henry because England and France didn't even play in the Confederations Cup. Even then, Ronaldinho wasn't even the best player in the tournament because that was Adriano. He also had an abysmal shot conversion ratio, as only 11% of his shots on target were goals. This falls flat against Lampard's 15% and Henry's 32%. While Ronaldinho did add a lot of value to the team by his dribbling, the same could be said about Lampard adding value to the team by his defensive work and Henry impacting the team by his movement of the ball. It is not a good look for Ronaldinho when he is being outscored and out-assisted by a midfielder. Even Gerrard was an important player for Liverpool's Champions League success, while having 13 goals and 6 assists throughout the course of the season. So, the winner should have been either Lampard, Gerrard or Henry, but not Ronaldinho. Ronaldo Nazario 2002. He had an injury-riddled season with Inter Milan as he was suffering from hamstring injury and thigh problems. He scored just 7 goals and provided 2 assists in 16 games that season. Although this was considerably worse than Ronaldinho's season, what won R9 the Ballon d'Or was his incredible World Cup campaign. He scored 8 goals in 7 games, scored twice in the final to win the World Cup and the Golden Boot. The World Cup plays a major role in deciding the Ballon d'Or winner, and that is exactly what happened in 2002. However, Oliver Kahn was definitely more deserving of this award. He had a save percentage of 83.1% for Bayern that season, which was the highest. He kept 19 clean sheets in Bundesliga, which was the highest that season. But more importantly, he was an absolute phenom in the World Cup, where he kept 5 clean sheets and won the Golden Glove and Golden Ball awards. Throughout the course of the season, he conceded only 33 goals and kept 28 clean sheets. But goalkeepers never get the respect they deserve when it comes to Ballon d'Or rankings, so it made sense why R9 won it. Andrei Shevchenko 2004. Shevchenko had 29 goals and 4 assists throughout the course of the season. He was the top goal scorer in the Serie A and had a historically efficient season as he converted 38% of his shots on target to goals. However, this was still not comparable to Henry's 39 goals and 15 assists in this season. He also scored 3 goals in the Euros. He won the Premier League Golden Boot and also led Arsenal to the historic Invincible season as they won the EPL without losing a single game. He was much better than Shevchenko in the Champions League as well, as he scored 5 goals and provided 7 assists, while Shevchenko scored only 4 goals and provided 1 assist. Although Henry wasn't as efficient as Shevchenko, he was still the much better passer, much better dribbler, and also much more consistent with better stats. Deco was incredible this season too, because he had 4 goals and 29 assists throughout the course of this season. He also had 10 assists in the Champions League and was the driving offensive force for Porto's Champions League success. But him playing in the Portuguese league reduced his chances of winning, as it was inferior to some other leagues in Europe. Although Serie A was superior to Premier League in this era of football, there is no logical explanation as to why Henry shouldn't have won this Ballon d'Or, because he was so much better than the rest. Michael Owen 2001. In the 2000-2001 season, Michael Owen won the Ballon d'Or for scoring 24 goals and providing 8 assists in 46 appearances. Although the numbers aren't that impressive, this was one of the slowest and the most defensive years in football history. He also had an immense offensive impact for Liverpool. They went from scoring 51 goals in the 1999-2000 season to scoring 71 goals in the following season. One of the main reasons for this 20-goal improvement was Michael Owen. He also scored a brace in the FA Cup final against Arsenal, which secured them the FA Cup trophy. Even with this incredible season, many fans believe that Raul should have won this award, but I think Figo was the deserved winner. He scored 14 goals and provided 27 assists in this season. He was the leading assist provider in La Liga with 19 assists. His playmaking ability enhanced Raul's goal-scoring ability, as Raul was able to get 12 more shots on target compared to the previous season. Figo also assisted 11 of the 32 goals scored by Raul that season. Furthermore, he played a crucial role in elevating Real Madrid from the 5th place to the 1st place in the La Liga in just 1 year. He didn't win the Ballon d'Or mainly because of his direct transfer from Barcelona to arch rivals Real Madrid. He quickly became the most hated player in the world, and this coincided with his amazing performances. The Ballon d'Or is a narrative-based award, and clearly the narratives weren't on his side in 2001. Ricardo Kaká 2007. In the 2006-2007 season, Kaká had 18 goals and 11 assists. Again, this doesn't sound very impressive, but the context is important. He was good but not great in Serie A, as he scored 8 goals and assisted 7 in 31 games while leading Milan to the 5th place in the table. However, what skyrocketed his stock was his performances in the Champions League. He scored 10 goals and provided 3 assists in 13 matches while leading Milan to European glory. He scored the only goal in the round of 16 against Celtic. He scored a goal and provided an assist against Bayern across both the legs in the quarterfinals. He scored thrice against United across both the legs in the semi-finals. Finally, he assisted a crucial goal in the Champions League final against Liverpool, putting together some of the most amazing performances in Champions League history. He was also the clear Ballon d'Or winner, since there were no other contenders to offer resistance to his performances. This was also a very important year in football history, as it signified the end of the previous era and the beginning of the new era with Messi and Ronaldo. Luis Figo 2000. Figo in this season had a very similar campaign compared to Kaká in 2007. He was not that great in La Liga, as he scored only 9 goals and provided 5 assists in 32 appearances. He massively increased his output in the Champions League, where he scored 5 goals and provided 8 assists in just 13 appearances. He led Barcelona to the semi-finals of the Champions League. He was suspended for the first leg of the semi-finals against Valencia, and Barcelona were humiliated that game as they got torched 4-1. Figo came back in the second leg and almost helped Barcelona pull off a comeback, as he provided 2 assists in their 2-1 victory. He also led Barca to a second place finish in La Liga. But what separates this season from Kaká's season is that Figo was really good in the Euros. He scored 1 goal and provided 3 assists while leading Portugal to the Euro semi-finals. There were a few contenders for the award this year. Zidane was doing Zidane things. Henry had his breakthrough year, but the player who I believe should have won the Ballon d'Or is Alessandro Nesta. He was the captain of the Lazio team that won the Serie A that year. He was the most dominant defensive force in the world. He was the anchor of the defense that kept 22 clean sheets in the 41 games he played. Nesta was not in the squad for the first leg of the Champions League quarterfinals against Valencia, and his team conceded 5 goals. He came back in the second leg, and Lazio did not concede a single goal. This was the impact he had on the team, and this was evident by Lazio's Serie A, Italian Cup and UEFA Super Cup victories. Nesta was also a vital defender for the Italian team that made the finals of the Euros that year. Figo winning the Ballon d'Or was fair, but this just shows how undervalued defenders are. Pavel Nedved 2003. Nedved scored 14 goals and provided 11 assists as a midfielder, which is very impressive. He was the driving offensive force for the team with his dribbling and passing. He was incredible in the Champions League, as he scored 5 goals and provided 2 assists. He scored a goal in the quarter-finals against Barcelona and in the semi-finals against Real Madrid to help Juventus reach the finals. But he had to sit out the finals because of accumulating a lot of yellow cards. Juve's attack looked very vulnerable in this game without their main man. They couldn't control the game. Juventus lost this one on penalties, and most likely it would have ended differently with Nedved on the field. He led Juventus to victories in Serie A and Supercoppa Italiana. It is no coincidence that he was the main man of the team that scored the joint most goals in Serie A that season. However, this was a controversy because of Thierry Henry's insane season. He had 32 goals and 23 assists throughout the course of the season. He had 24 goals and provided 20 assists in the Premier League, becoming the first ever player to score 20 goals and provide 20 assists in a single league season. He was amazing in the Champions League as well, with a hat-trick against Roma and 2 goals against PSV. He led Arsenal to a Premier League title, and he balled out for France in the Confederations Cup. Nedved achieved more club success, and this could be partly because he played in a better team. Henry had better stats, but again, there were a lot of things Nedved did that didn't appear on the stat sheet. Dribbling, creating shots, controlling the game. These were all things Nedved did better than Henry. This also highlights the inconsistencies of FIFA. Ronaldinho won the Ballon d'Or in 2005 because of his performances in the Confederations Cup, but Henry didn't win the Ballon d'Or after doing the exact same thing and much more in 2003. Nedved had one of the best seasons ever by a midfielder, and Henry had one of the best seasons ever by a forward. So, giving any one of these two the award is acceptable. Fabio Cannavaro 2006. This was another controversial Ballon d'Or race. Cannavaro was the best centre-back in the world. He was physically imposing against even the strongest forwards in the world. He was often struggling against quick and swift forwards, but he was able to cover up this weakness by disrupting the passing lanes of the opponents. His awareness and anticipation made him one of the toughest defenders to go against, and 2006 was his absolute peak. He led Juventus to a Serie A title that season, and they conceded just 21 goals, making them easily the best defense in Europe. While many people may attribute their defensive prowess to Buffon, it has to be noted that Buffon played only 18 games that season due to injury. Juve weren't awarded the Serie A title because of the Calciopoli scandal, but this doesn't take anything away from Cannavaro's club season. He was outstanding in the World Cup too, as he was the leader of the Italian defense that conceded only 2 goals in the entire World Cup. Italy won the World Cup and Cannavaro won the silver ball. He earned the nickname the Ball of Berlin for his phenomenal performances. Ronaldinho was incredible this season with 26 goals and 24 assists for Barcelona while leading them to the UCL title. Zidane, although not as great for Real Madrid, was splendid in the World Cup. He won the Golden Ball but didn't win significant team trophies to win him the award. So Cannavaro definitely deserved this award, and this is arguably the greatest season ever by a defender. The only reason this isn't 2 or 1 is because of his lackluster Champions League campaign. Cristiano Ronaldo 2008. This was the beginning of Ronaldo's dominance over world football. He scored 42 goals and provided 7 assists in 49 appearances. He averaged 1 goal contribution per game. He scored 31 goals in the Premier League, which was a record at the time for a 38-game league season. He scored 8 goals and provided 1 assist in the Champions League, the most important goal being the one he scored in the final against Chelsea. He was a really good dribbler in one-on-one situations. His playmaking wasn't as refined as he struggled to accurately cross from the wing. He was an unstoppable force in dead ball situations and was incredibly efficient inside the box. He was the most valuable player of the Man United team that won the Premier League and the Champions League, as he was the top scorer in both the competitions. So this was one of the best Ballon d'Or winning seasons ever. Lionel Messi 2009. This is easily the best Ballon d'Or winning season of the decade. Messi scored 38 goals and provided 19 assists throughout the course of the season. He scored 23 goals and provided 13 assists in 31 La Liga appearances. He also scored 9 goals and provided 5 assists in the Champions League. He scored twice and assisted once against Bayern in the quarterfinals. He provided the match-winning assist against Chelsea in the semi-finals and scored the match-winning goal against Man United in the finals. He was by far the best dribbler in the world, as he could take on multiple defenders with his speed, agility and ball control. He wasn't really that good in set pieces. His passing wasn't at the highest level at the time. The only 2 types of passes he made consistently were the through ball down the right wing and the lob pass over the left wing. But he was able to blend different aspects of his game to such an extent that he could make that same pass all the time. The reason this season separates itself from Ronaldo's season is because Messi won all the 6 trophies that season. He played an important role in every trophy they won. He also had a larger impact in big games than Ronaldo. So this is clearly the best Ballon d'Or winning season of the decade. My biggest takeaway from this is that the Ballon d'Or award is a narrative-based award. It amplifies the impact of the offensive players and undermines the value of the defenders and goalkeepers. Oliver Kahn and Alessandro Nesta should have Ballon d'Ors to their names, but they are just not given as much respect as other forwards. Another takeaway is that a lot of importance is attached to this award, so much so that it affects the way we rank players. An article by the name of 90minute.com put out a list of the 50 greatest footballers of all time. Ronaldo Nazario was placed 6th, Ronaldinho was placed 26th, but Thierry Henry wasn't even on that list. The only reason Henry isn't on this list is because there is no Ballon d'Or to his name. And this is exactly why the consistency is the key for the voters who vote for this award. By any logic, Henry should have at least 2 Ballon d'Ors, and we would perceive him in a much different manner. In my opinion, he is a top 15 player of all time, but he just doesn't get the respect he deserves for some odd reason. That being said, I want to know what you guys think about this topic. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, until next time.
It's running.